Hey guys, welcome back to another Calibre Wings live stream. This live stream, once again, is an impromptu live stream because I just got some news from the collectors, and I thought I would just, get online and clarify the air. It's always nice to clarify the air. Okay, so let's see who we have in the chat. We got one person watching right now, but no worries, it's an impromptu stream. Hopefully, more people will gather in. Hello, Mr. Suppling. Welcome to the stream. So, again, guys, I'm Noel from Calibre Wings. And if this is the first time you are just chancing by this video, go back and check out my other videos. And that will give you a bit of history of Calibre Wings. But in the meantime, this particular video is going to be addressing some, I would say, irate customers online who is having a say. Well, of course, you have your right to speak your mind and, of course, express your views, but you got to get your facts right. That's all I ask, right? Get the facts right. Because when I try to, give the facts, and in that way I educate the customers, I am always accused of being like, ooh, this guy is like shaming the customer. Well, the customer was shaming me. Haven't you actually even considered that? Right? So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, welcome, 80s, the 80s back from Peru, Jose. Yeah, Jose, welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. Thank you very much for your support. We also got Julio in the house. All right, hello, hello, hello. So, like I said, I was just trying to get online to address something which I'll share on the screen really soon. But to give you some context, I like to present the facts. That's all. I'm just here to present the facts. There's no ulterior motives. I don't purposefully go on, I don't know, on emotional rants and stuff like that. I do my job. I do my job, and I do it honestly, and I do it diligently. But there are people around us who are having their own perception, and it's okay to have your own perception as long as it doesn't concern me. Okay, if it doesn't concern me and my brand, you can rant away and talk your crazy comments. I wouldn't care less. But the moment you talk about Calibre Wings in an untruth way, without the facts, then I got to step in. Whether it's about QC, whether it's about our ethics, whether it's about our business practices. Whenever the brand reputation is called in and wrongly accused, I got to step in. And when I do that, most of the time, I don't reserve my punches, right? I don't reserve my punches. I give it as it is. And for the people who say that I'm thin-skinned and I have an ego and I can't take criticisms, again, when you point a finger, you are actually having, three fingers pointed back at you. So the reverse would be true as well, because, you are speaking the untruths, and I have now come forth to explain to you the facts. And by doing that, I have to give you a reprimand. And by doing that, collectors are saying, oh, he's shaming customers, he's scolding customers. Again, you can use whatever words that you want, but the fact remains that I'm just here to clarify, and I'm here to put a stop to people who are spreading untruths, because why would you want to do that? Okay, so without further ado, welcome once again. I do not pronounce your name as usual. And Sandy, welcome. All right. So let me put up to the screen this post that is on the Facebook Diecast Aviation Collectors. All right. Of course, I'm not a member of the page, so obviously this was being shared to me, and I appreciate the people who are providing me with such important information, because if I didn't know about this, that means my company's reputation would go into the rhetoric of this person. Whoever reads this, who doesn't challenge the rhetoric, would take it as creed, would take it as gospel. So I'm going to single out Mr. Robert Kocheska. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. All right, Kocheka or Kochek or Kocheska, maybe Kocheka. All right, Robert Kocheka, Robert. All right. Right, Robert posted in the Diecast Aviation Collectors. Again, most people wouldn't even know about this post, because not everybody is on Facebook. I recognize that. But the moment somebody posts something like this and it's on Facebook, and again, my reach is only a few people, right? We got about 20 people watching now. So it's again a small community, but every person that hears the truth counts. Every person that hears the truth counts, and that's why I'm doing this. All right. So, Robert, as you can read over there, all right. Again, I'm not sure if he's actually writing this in a very cool, collected manner, like Calibre Wings strikes again. This is not the first time that they've done this. No, or he's saying like, oh, Calibre Wings strikes again. This is not the first time they've done this. I pre-ordered a VF 102 Diamondbacks F14, which had a limited production run of 800 pieces. I received mine today. Wow, thank you so much for the purchase. And guess what? It says one of 1,200. Well, first of all, it doesn't say one of 2,000. Sorry, let me rephrase. Firstly, it doesn't say one of 1,200. It gives a number of 1,200. Either it's 0001, 0120 of 1,200, 1,050 of 1,200. You get what I mean, right? It will give the serial number of 1,200. It would not say one of 1,200. So that particular statement from Robert is already a falsehood. It's not accurate. All right. Okay. So getting back to his post. I think this is at least the third time that they have done a cash grab like this. All right. So this is where it gets this is where I got to step in, because not only did he get the limited edition phrasing wrong, but maybe that's just a way of using English. No problem there. But the fact that he's accusing a cash grab, all right. So that means Calibre Wings is a person who cash grabs you. All right. I want money. I'm trying to cash grab you, because why? I only stated 800 pieces, but whoa, I released 1,200. I've actually made 400 pieces more. I've actually made 400 pieces of profits more. Now let that sink in for a little bit. First of all, we are not a charity organization. We are a business. And what does a business do? A business makes product or services. In our case, it's product. And guess what? It's supposed to make a profit. So first of all, not even saying anything. If you think that me making a profit is a sin, then we got a problem. All right. If you think that we are making a profit and that's wrong because we can't cash grab. We can't cash grab, right? We got to, if we say 800, we got to do 800, right? So for example, let me sidetrack a little bit. In recent days, we've got a lot of requests for the Top Gun series Ghost Rider. All right. Otherwise, serial number CA72TP02. Now, it was sold out. And I have to tell customers that it's sold out. Now, if I were to be a cash grabber, which I am actually, because I am actually intending to release more of this model for the customers who would like to own it, who didn't have a chance to do it. But I'm not doing it right away. I need to consider it. I need to consider how I'm going to do it so that it does not affect the value of the original model that is all supposed to be, and it will be, limited edition. You know, all Calibre Wings models are a one-time limited edition run. There will be no reruns. There will be no reruns. If there's ever a rerun, you can sue me to the bank. All right. So the main crux of it is that we have no reruns. One time. That's it. So I'm considering another way to provide people who are interested in this model. Again, maybe it's because of the recent movie Top Gun Maverick that has gotten the craze up again. And people who didn't buy the original model are now looking for it and asking me if we're making another run. And so far, it's only a handful, right? It's a handful, and it doesn't justify any action on my part, except to tell them, I'm sorry, it's already sold out. But I am contemplating how I can, as a manufacturer, deliver to the customer who wants something. So when I make another run of this model, it will not be exactly the same as what you have gotten previously. That is for sure. And I got to make sure I do it in such a way that it does not affect the value of the people who bought it first, and that was limited edition, and that was it. So let me just make that clear first, all right? Before anybody says anything, should I decide to go about to address and provide and serve the people who are interested in this model in the coming future. Now, so getting back, all right? So I was talking about the cash grab, right? Robert is saying that, you know, we're doing a cash grab. We are hold on, let me just say hi to these people here. Okay, so Freddie, thank you for joining the stream. All right. And Dan Tube, okay, thanks for all the nice comments. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. We will get to that in a little bit. Mr. Jumbo 747. Again, hope that your YouTube channel is going well. And of course, yeah, all the nice comments. Thank you very much. These are the people that appreciate Calibre Wings, and that's why Calibre Wings exists, because we are here to serve the community. All right. But you know, we got to appreciate all the good customers, and I really appreciate all the good customers. That is without a shadow of a doubt. There's no I mean I you know I really appreciate everybody who are supporting myself and Calibre, definitely. But I can't possibly always highlight all the good comments because there's just so many. However, I do have to highlight these kind of comments from Mr. Robert here, who really shakes the foundation. And again, if I'm not out to clarify, people who read it can take it as creed, because again, there's so many fake news in mass, well, in what's that, social media nowadays, right? And most of the time when you see something online, if you don't question it, you will absorb it subconsciously and you'll take it as truth, and you'll start sharing with your friends as truth. Stephen, Charles, thank you so much for joining the stream. Stephen, I appreciate you. All right. Okay. All right, Roselle. If you are the Roselle that actually message us, let me get to your comment in just a bit. I'll come back to that. So if you stick around, I'll come back to that. So there's a good chance for us to talk about it. Okay. Okay. So getting back to Mr. Robert here. All right. Getting back to Robert here. All right. You guys can read it. Okay. So now, so he says that I think this is at least the third time, okay, they've done a cash grab like this. Now, Robert, I challenge you to name me the other two times. All right, name me what is the other two times that we have produced a production where the production number differs from what we advertise. Tell me. Okay, tell me. Post a comment, email me, noel@calibrewings.com, sales@calibrewings.com. All right, if you're getting this, friends of Robert who watched this stream, you can pass the message to him. He might not be watching this. I don't take it for granted that he's watching. All right, so please pass the message. Let me know what is the other two occasions. All right, now if this cannot be proven, that means once again Robert has wrote something that is false just to help support his rant that this particular model is not in the production number that he was led to believe, which I'll get to in a little bit. All right. So again, if you are reading this as a non-ness, right, this is not the first time that they've done this. It's the third time. Wow. Very shady company. All right. So anyways, again, but I'm here to rebuttal, all right, and I'm here to call out Robert that he is the guy who is spreading, that he's the guy that you should be looking out for, who is obviously spreading inaccuracies and falsehoods, and thus affecting my brand, and thus is slander. Robert, do you want me to issue you a legal proceeding for slander? Again, it's not a threat, by the way. I'm not threatening you in any way. I'm just asking because nowadays we are talking about, to protect my brand, my reputation. And if falsehood like that affects my brand, then technically I can actually sue for slander. All right. Okay, so now let's get on back to his post. And he wrote, "I'm done with them." All right. Guess what, Robert? I'm done with you as well. So please do not buy another Calibre Wings model. Okay? Don't let me catch you buying another Calibre Wings model, because if you do that, that means you're a true hypocrite. That means you are the true falsehood yourself. You can't even keep to your own words. If you are accusing me of saying that I'm going to make 800 and yet I make 1,002, and if you are going to say you're done with me and yet you buy more Calibre Wings, then do you see what I'm saying here? It's important what you say. It's important what you say, because most of the time you don't know what you're saying until you look back. And if you have the mental capacity to dissect and realize what you said, all right. Again, I am. I mean, there's still a lot of. Again, it's a handful of people. For some reason, there's a handful of people in the community, and very more prominently in the forums, who just have nothing else better to do but to keep on, talking trash about myself and Calibre Wings. And again, I guess it's fine. I shouldn't bother about what they say, and it's fine. Again, it's fine as long as they do not do something like Robert here, which is brought to my attention and contains a lot of falsehoods, which I need to step in to address. Which also means that if I get information from the forums of anybody doing detrimental post that affects the integrity and reputation, then of course I will, again, like before in a previous live stream which I've done, I also addressed that. Okay, so although I did promise that I will ignore the comments, but again, when things like this are being posted in a public forum, the Diecast Aviation Collectors is quite a big forum on Facebook, and again, I need to address it. All right, so when I address it, hopefully the 30 of you here will see, and then you can help me to share what I've mentioned, and then we can shut Robert up once and for all. Okay, all right, so it goes on further to make a threat. All right, I am emailing all US retailers that carry Calibre to fix their listing in order to avoid customer returns. Now, are you telling me? Well, first of all, Robert, this market is not as big as you think. All right. How many US retailers are there in the US? Now, when you say that, once again, you are actually not helping the community, because if you are able to email all the US retailers, that means there aren't that many US retailers to begin with. I don't know, maybe there's like, off the top of my mind, I can think of the Flying Mule, and that's it, because Historic Sales isn't carrying Calibre Wings. The Moto Pool carried but stopped carrying Calibre Wings. So who else in the US is a retailer that you can email that is carrying Calibre Wings? Which means you're actually admitting that your hobby, this hobby of ours, is such a small market. And more importantly, so since it's a small market, I have to come out to address falsehood, because for one post like this, it affects a fraction of that small market, which means it's a pretty big fraction. All right. So please go ahead. All right. So he's going to email all US retailers to carry Calibre that carries Calibre to fix their listing to avoid customer return. Now, are you telling me that if somebody buys a model and he's supposed to think that it's limited to 800, and then once he gets it 1,000 to, oh shit, I'm going to return it, I'm not buying this? Are you seriously telling me that collectors would, because of what is printed on a limited edition card, affect their actual want of the physical model, which means the model, it, it doesn't matter. Next time I should just QC the collector's card. I shouldn't QC the model, because it doesn't matter, right? You are not interested in the model. You are only interested in the card that says how many of it is produced in the world. Think about that. Oh, but you may say, oh, hey Noel, but you're wrong, because I'm only buying it because it's limited. Okay, I hear you. All right. Now between 800 and 1,002, what's the difference? Calibre Wings started out making models at 1,000 pieces each. We have been doing 1,000 pieces, 1,000 pieces. When something is selling well, we make 1,005. Sometimes I make 2,000. And then you have customers telling me, why are you just making 1,000? We want more. But I know that the size of the consumers in this market is about 1,000, 1,005 maybe. All right. It's a very small niche market. I can't repeat this enough. I would like to sell 5,000. Heck, I would like to sell 10,000. But I can't. No way. Even when I made 2,000 units of something, like the Mona cat, all right? Wrong, it was 1,005. 2,000 was maybe the I'm not sure if TP02 was 2,000 or was it 1,005. I got to check. So don't hold me to, oh, he said 2,000, right? I'm just saying, maybe I made a 2,000 of something, but even that, it took me a while to sell, because the market is only about 1,000, 1,005. Anything more than that, it takes time to sell. All right. Now, first of all, when you have a business, you want to make sure that you cover all the consumers, isn't it? So if the market is 1,000, do I make 500 so that people like Robert would be happy? Because 500 more of you can't get it. So Robert is basically saying that when I made 1,002 and allowed 400 more pieces to be out in the market for 400 collectors, he's not happy. He's not happy. He is trying to restrict collectors from getting models because Robert said so. So getting back to the limited edition thing, right? Again, I said, what's the difference between 800 and 1,200? So Robert, in this case, might say, I'm only buying it because it's 800 pieces. If it's 801, 900, no, I'm not buying it, right? But that's what you're saying, right? You are going to email all US retailers that carries Calibre to fix their listing to avoid customer returns, which means if something is 800 as advertised, if it's 801 or more, I'm returning it. Let that sink in. Let them sink in to actually appreciate how silly Robert is. All right. And he goes on finally to be very careful, or rather he's very, how should I say it? He rounds off by trying to make a point. Right, the bottom of the fly mill photo, because this is obviously taken from a Facebook page, and he posted various screenshots to support his argument. So apparently the fly mill photo was cut off. So sorry, so too bad. All right, but it does say 800 pieces. Okay, I believe you. I believe you, because I also have my sales sheet that I sent to customers in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, April. All right, if I'm not mistaken. Last year, April 2021, I sent mailers to customers to order this, and I wrote it as 800 pieces. Now, sorry about that. At this point of time, Robert, if you're listening, aha, I got you. He's got me, right? He's got me. Oh, I'm guilty as charged, right? But I wouldn't come onto a live stream if I didn't have facts and evidence to back me up. All right. So now I'm going to back up myself with the evidence. Just hold on. But before that, let's get to the chat and see who is in the chat and what they have to say. All right. Let's see here. I'd like to say hi. Hold on. Again, so Roselle, please stick around to the end of the stream. I will address this. All right, Rochelle. All right, Rochelle. We have Stan. Can I just call you Stan? Stanny laugh. I'm sorry, Stan. I'll just call you Stan. All right. Hello, Stan. Okay. Yes, Sandy. No, it's not. I don't mind them. I got to make sure that I come up here and clear my name. Charles, all right, Stephen Charles. Every model I've purchased from Calibre Wings is top notch and no flaws. I've purchased doubles of those earlier releases and am passing my extras on to new collectors. That's very good, Stephen, and that should be the way. All right, and that should be the way. And even if there are flaws, which I'm not denying that there aren't, okay, you will be able to appreciate what Steven is doing because he's actually doing what the community needs. He's actually buying the models and then he's actually selling them or passing them on the extras to facilitate. There's always going to be young blood, and we need young blood in the community. Otherwise, it's going to be detrimental, right, to the community. All right. So, okay. So don't mind that. It's just the okay. Okay. So not that. Okay, all right. So thanks for that. All right. So the Flying Mule and Aikens Airplane. That's good. So we have two retailers. So he's going to email two retailers, right? So maybe he should have said, I'm going to email the two US retailers instead of sounding like it's like, there's like a massive amount of retailers. All right. Okay. So back to the chat. No issues anyway. On any of the models. All right, thanks a lot. Okay, thank you so much for your support. Sriha, I hope I got your name right. Sriha. All right, thank you so much. Exactly. So 800 or 1200 doesn't really matter in the scheme of things. That's absolutely correct. That's what I mean. But again, I'm not trying to justify it. I'm going to show you why it went from 800 to 1200. Okay. Yes, I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate and I do my best to make sure that the boxes arrive to you as mean as possible. But we have such thing as shipping cost. So the moment you add more things to increase the volume, to protect it, the shipping cost increase drastically, and that's when collectors would sort of like not be too pleased because you're paying $150 for your model, and then on top of that you're going to add on another 45-50 US for shipping. Then you might not feel too good, maybe sometimes even 60 or 70 US for couriers, because again, guys, we're in the middle of a pandemic still, although it's been 2 years and counting. The postal system is not back to the days before the pandemic. There are many containers that is not moving. There are not as many commercial jets flying because, again, if you do some research, you'll realize that most of the cargo from the post office, from couriers, they are not FedEx, not DHL, not TNT. They hitch a ride on commercial jets, your normal commercial airlines that's flying from place to place. They carry cargo to ship these things. Now, if there are less of such flights, but the demand for and our business is running, right? We are still producing models, you're still buying models. There is no decrease in this appetite for your favorite models, but there's a decrease, a drastic decrease in the way these packages are being transported cross oceans, cross land masses to get to you around the world. Then it has to be a case of simple supply and demand. And then that means if there is no supply of the flights and a lot of demand of the packages, then prices increase. That's just basic logic, right? So yeah, as much as we try our best, we pack it in a 2-ply sturdy box. We put corner protectors there. But if somebody is going to step on it, as I mentioned before, there's nothing we can do. And we just hope that these cases are limited and not like in 10, you get 8 that is damaged, right? So normally in 10, you get possibly half a box that's damaged. That seems to be the case. It's the law of large numbers, all right? So if your model happens to be that unfortunate one, I'm sorry. and I really can't do anything except maybe to offer you another model at a good discount, right? Or even at my cost, so that you can. But you still got to pay that shipping. It's not gonna be discounted. Anyway, I digress. I'll get to that in another stream, maybe. Right? We're doing our best to pack. If you're buying, B2C, otherwise, get it from your local retailer. Otherwise, ask your local retailer to buy Calibre Wings so that we can ship it to them, buy the cartons, buy the pallet. The people handling will not throw the packages around. They can't throw a pallet. They can only move a pallet, so the model remains intact. That's the reason why we need the support of retailers in your country. The US retailer, the Japanese retailer, the Australian, the UK retailer, distributor. So the distributor gets it in a bigger bulk. It doesn't get thrown around. Your model is safe, and then they will ship it to you directly from UK, from US, and there's less chance of it being thrown around. And that's just simple logic, right? But if you have people like that telling retailers to, let's boycott Calibre Wings, let's stop buying Calibre Wings, then you got to get it from me direct, B2C, and then you have to get yourself at risk of all these things happening. I digress. Sorry. Thanks, Jumbo. And like I said, I'm always increasing the quality, and I'll get to that in I'm here to settle Mr. Robert. So I'll get to that in just a little bit. All right. Let's not digress. Hey, Christian. No, I have to talk about the deals, because the deals is part and parcel of everything. We can't support a brand if the brand is a crap brand. If this brand is unethical, is lying, cheating, then you shouldn't support this brand. I wouldn't recommend you to support Calibre Wings if Calibre Wings is unethical, lies, cheats, purposefully delay production, and then take your pre-order money and then eats it and then not return it. I wouldn't recommend Calibre Wings, right? All right, so let me get back to. Oh, I'm really behind. So Steven says he doesn't care. All right, that's great. Um, sure. All right, people make them money on eBay. That's sure. Yes, of course there is. Understood. Okay, I'm just quickly going to scroll down here. All right, thanks, Stan. All right, thank you, and I really love you guys for loving the models because we do our best to make it. Yes, Josh, I'll get to those things in a little bit. Let me just clarify. Let me just finish up my Smithy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. 18-year-old who recently started collecting diecasts and got the VF41 Black Aces. Thank you so much. We want to make more. All right. All right. So, okay, let me get back to those chats in a little bit, and I'd like to say hi to Steve Wicks as well. He's in the stream. Steve. All right. I think I saw Steve there. There we go. All right. All right, Steve. Okay. So let me get back to the reveal, the big reveal. All right. So I am going to share my screen again. And this time I'm going to show this. All right. This, my friend, is the purchase order that we gave the factory. I'm going to really show it in the screen. Make myself really small here. All right. If you can see it. All right. All right. Look at the look at that purchase order. All right. This is not fabricated by me. I didn't just fabricate this to address Robert. If I did, then I'm a freaking bastard. All right. I'm an unethical freaking bastard if I fabricated this piece of image just to support myself lying. All right. So there we go. It is, look at that, 2020. I think that's November 12th or December 11th, right? Depending on how they put the dates. Again, I don't really recall, but it's around there. All right. 2020, around November, we gave a purchase order to the factory. All right. So we are Calibre skill models, by the way. You can check us out in Hong Kong. If you want to really do some investigative work, you can go and check out the Hong Kong company registry, and you can find Calibre Skill Models Asia. That's the company under which Calibre Wings is operating. All right, look at that, guys. Item number CA721416. F14 Tomcat VF102 Diamondbacks. Check it out. Quantity 800. All right. And quantity 400. But what's 400? Look at that. CA721416W. Diamondbacks weathered. All right. Can you see that now, guys? Is that clear enough? Let me put that on screen again. Let me just put that there. Okay. And let me get back to my control panel here. And there we go, guys. Robert. So initially, I had planned to do 800 of the clean version and 400 of what you guys like to call weathered, but it's actually just a wash. The wash was done on a few models in 2020, like the Ghost Riders, the Black Aces. I forgot what else, right? But you get the drift. Now, because the factory is not doing a good enough job of this simple panel washing, I'm not satisfied. The model that you will receive, should this have carried on, would not be as nice as it should be. And at that point of time, again, when was the VF 102 released? If it was PO'd in November of 2020. Why? Because again, in 2021, this factory has already gone rogue. They have decided that in the entire 2020 of doing business with me, they are not going to allow this guy, this idiot right here, to sit at the assembly line and start inspecting every model one by one. They are not going to allow that because it takes time, and time means that they can't push out all the models to Calibre Wings scale model as a business, as a company, and get their money, because this idiot right here is sitting there checking everyone one by one. So I have to make see, I'm a reasonable guy. As much as you guys say I have an ego, an egomaniac would insist on doing things his way or the highway, but most of the time actually is the factory that got the better of me. They got, imagine we're standing on a plank, a small plank, but they got like 80% of the space and I'm just getting 20%. Because I'm the little guy. I'm the little guy, all right? And I need to make the concession because if I don't do that, things will be much worse. Meaning my deposit would be in jeopardy. I mean if you have half a brain, you can understand what I'm trying to say. So basically in 2021, the factory has decided that they don't want me there QCing the products. So if I am not going to QC it, then I better not do this wash version. Which is why your 800 pieces Robert became 1200. Because the remaining 400 that's supposed to be washed, panel washed, was not panel washed. And we cannot cancel a PO. If we cancel the PO, we say we don't want 400 because we need to keep 800, then the factory will say, oh, then too bad. We got to eat your deposit, and that's it. You can make your 800 pieces, and that's fine by us. Now, am I being a cash grabber? Have you had enough of Calibre Wings? I mean, in the army, there's such thing called fragmentation orders, which means that whatever that you've planned on the ground, if things changes, you react accordingly. And this is an example of how things on the ground changed and we reacted accordingly. Yes, okay, fine. Guilty as charged. We did not send a message out to the distributor to say, oh, we're going to change 800 to 1200. Okay, fine. If that is the accusation, then sorry, we did not send a mailer out to the distributors to inform them of this change in production quantity. But again, like many of you have said, what does 400 pieces matter in the big scheme of things? It's only little people like Robert, the little people, and the little people, in fact, those at the model hanger tree are even worse than Robert. I even suspect if they're even collectors, do they even buy any models at all? So there you have it. That is my explanation, you can share this video and make sure Robert hears me. I'm talking to you now, Robert. I'm not happy with your accusations of falsehood. Again, show me the 3 times I pulled this stunt. You have illustrated 1, so what's the other 2? Okay. Otherwise, you are the liar. All right. And if you have enough of Calibre Wings, no problem. I'm not going to bear a grudge. Please don't buy any more Calibre Wings, Robert. All right. If you do buy another Calibre Wing in your lifetime, then please make a similar announcement on the Diecast Aviation Forum to say, hey guys, I've purchased my next Calibre Wings model. Contrary to what I said earlier about I've had enough of them. Okay, Robert, can you do that for me, please? All right. Okay, let's conclude the lesson for today. As General, whatever his name, said it in Die Hard 2, right? If you would not spread any more falsehood, such further lessons can be avoided. All right, chat, what do we have here? Let me get back to the chat, and I'll get back to Rochelle on that issue. Okay, let me just check the chats that's still available that I can read. Okay. Give me a second here. Okay, so I said, Josh, I'll come back to you. So, Josh, we are making the S2, but we will require to retool it again. Now, why? Because in 2020, remember how advanced the S2 was? No, because I want to actually prove to the community that the Calibre Wings is a very efficient company, that I can deliver on my promises. The tracker was done. The 3D model was done way in advance, isn't it? When I announced it, and then we were tooling it in late 2020. I think I announced even the tracker around June, isn't it? June? I think July. We talk about go back and look at the videos. Around June, I was in a park in Shenzhen asking you guys what is the next model you wanted to be. Some of you said tracker, and then voila, the next month I showed you guys that we're doing the tracker in the 3D model. And then at the end of the year, I showed test shots of the actual metal S2. But along the way, I was already asking the factory that was doing this. I said, look at this part here. And this is the part that holds the undercarriage at the engine cowling. All right, the whole nacelle. Is it called nacelle or nacelle? I don't know. So that part was joined together like a model kit. You know how model kit has very fine inner walls for you to just glue it together? So I said, this is not going to work. But the factory assured me that, fine, it's going to work, no problem, because they're doing the production. So I raised my concerns, but they said it can work. Then who am I to... I'm not the engineering guy, okay? As little as I've studied engineering, and as little logic that I have when I see something and I raise it up, because I don't have that affirmative background to say, no, you're wrong, because I have proof. I can't really stand my ground, all right? But true enough, when we got the S2 tooling out of this stupid unprofessional factory who put on a good show when they approached me to want to get my business. The factory boss was so nice, brought me to his factory, picked me up from the station to his factory, treat me to lunch, dinners, gave me mooncakes, gave me was that Martell? Was that Martell? Is that what VSOP? Was that cognac? Gave me ginseng wine, gave me tea leaves, Chinese tea leaves. So good, right? So good. But I also reciprocated the kindness, because when he came over for Chinese New Year in 2021, I believe it was 2021, I took him out for a pretty expensive Thai dinner, a lunch with his family, his wife, his kid, and his mother-in-law. And I took pictures for him and his family. And I don't brag to be a very excellent photographer, but I take decent photos. You can go check out my photos at Calibre Shots, facebook.com/Calibre Shots, or Google Calibre Photography. You can check out some of my portrait images. So I reciprocated his gestures with me taking very nice, I would say, memorable pictures of his family, his kid, right? So I think I did my job, right? I was never a ungrateful person. If you're kind to me, I'd be kind to you. But he is unprofessional because all he wanted to do was actually just business, just churn out models, right? That's why, as I've stressed again, in 2020, you saw so many F14 models being churned out, because those were from the backlog from previous, even more idiotic factories who couldn't do or refused to do my models. Those were the backlog. And this guy, kudos to him, he churned out the models for me in 2020. But then again, when you do things fast, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get QC issues. So for as much as I appreciated him doing the F14 models in 2020, but that was it. It was only F14 models, right? Anyway, don't want to talk about that for now. I got a whole. If you wanna sit down with me and talk about that, we can talk about this for 2-3 hours, all right? But getting back, so true enough, once I took the mold of the S2 away from this idiotic factory, which, by the way, is this factory. This is the factory, right? This is the factory. Let me see here. This is the factory. Okay. We PO'd to this idiotic factory for the F14s, and also this idiotic factory made the S2 tooling. Well, not them. They subcontracted it to the tool maker. All right. So let's not give them too much credit. They were only there to help me to manage the production, because if you're a factory, your responsibility is to make the production. And you can only make the production if you understand what you're producing. If you understand the parts. Do I make sense? If you have no idea, if the boss has no idea what this thing is, how can the factory workers even make it? Capish? So he must participate in how the model is being constructed and assembled, because he is the one doing the job. You get it? So when I saw this part that was strange and I raised it up, maybe at a point of time he was already not even bothered, or rather he's just not professional enough. He doesn't have the know-how to even understand what I was talking about. So true enough, when I took the tooling from this idiot back to a person I trust now to make the tooling and production, he highlighted the same problem. He said, this part can't be produced. If we are going to produce this part the way it is now, there's going to be tons of glue streaks, fingerprints from the glue streaks, misalignment. If we don't do anything, this will be, if I carry on, I say, forget it, let's just make the track, let's just make and cash grab. Let's cash grab with the tracker. Then you're going to get a bunch of shit trackers. So we have no choice but to spend more money to retool the part. So when we retool the part, Josh, I will get a Canadian tracker somewhere along the line, because I've already planned for the first 2 release. And when I plan something, I don't go back on my words unless something really drastic takes place. Okay, so we will get to a Canadian tracker. Just be patient, Josh. Next one. Okay, so I've already read this. Thank you, Smithy, again. When a collector buys a model, he doesn't plan to sell it. Yes and no. So we will leave it to the individual, Sandy. So any updates on the MiG-31? Yes, there's updates, because as of today, we have received about 300 orders for the MiG-31. So my goal is to hit 800. All right. So please spread this as much as you can, because a lot of Calibre Wings haters and hobby master apologists are out to spread the hobby master MiG-31 and not support the Calibre Wings MiG-31. Now, since we are now at a point where it's obvious that collectors of those people have no idea what they're talking about, or rather, maybe their collecting standard is just hobby master, then go ahead. I'm not forcing anybody to buy my MiG-31. If you are contented with a hobby master make of an aircraft model, and I've already said it time and again, the reason why Calibre Wings exists is because no model in the market before 2016 was good enough for me to like it. Not even Century Wings. That's why I exist. If there are already good enough models in the market, I would not bother or dare to challenge the status quo. Just like I would not go and challenge Hot Toys to make a better 1/6 scale figure, because I can't. They are already the best in the business. Capiche? So please do your best and spread and share and tell your friends, if you want a MiG-31 to come to fruition, I have to get my target and I will make the MiG-31. All right. And when the model is served, that will mark the new era of Calibre Wings, working with professional partners and not idiots of before. I'm not sure if I did 500 F-14s. Which one is that, Mr. Suppling? Yes, Stephen, it will be done, because the tool is already done. It's just the method of assembly of that particular section that I just emphasized. It can't be done. So we have got to fix it with more money. Yes, I think I've addressed that, Josh. So Steve, again, I've addressed your comment. Thanks for backing me up on that. Again, packages being damaged in transit is definitely not our fault, because if we pack it in a freaking armored, indestructible way, how much do you think that's going to cost you? All right. And having said that, the MiG 31 is going to be packaged in a metal tin box. All right. A metal tin box. So I can give credit to, I believe the maker is Caterpillar, right? The um, Model Master, right? Model Master is the company in Hong Kong that makes Caterpillar construction machines, and they have packaged those Caterpillar tractors. What's the word for it? Excavators, right? In metal tin boxes. So I got the idea from there, and I will be starting with the MiG 31 to be packaged in metal tin box. Now, if this proves to be a winning formula in terms of delivery of the model to you, as well as not affecting the cost of shipping too much, it's going to be more, of course, because it's heavier. Even if the volumetric is the same, a tin box would always be heavier than a cardboard box. That's just logic and physics. And the postal system, the shipping system, will charge you when your weight is more. And that's also logic and physics and policies of their business, right? So should the MiG 31 tin box take off and you guys like it, then I will adopt the methodology of packing for the rest of my models going forward from then. The Greyhound, I'm not doing the Greyhound. I don't think I've mentioned doing any Greyhounds. So Austin, hey Austin, welcome to the stream. I just mentioned about the updates on the MiG 31. Hope that you heard about it. All right, thanks for that, Rochelle. I'll get to your concern in just a little bit. In fact, let's just do it now. All right, let's just do it now. Let's just do it now. So Rochelle, if I can find it. No, let's see. Give me a second here. Miss the there we go. So how do I deal with orders that got damaged while being in transit? Now, okay, so first things first, Rochelle, if you are the person that emailed us with the pictures of the model with the blister all cracked up, all right, I think the people in the chat who bought Calibre Wings would assure you that the model, because I think you asked the question that was it like that before it was shipped. Now, if the model was already in a cracked blister before I shipped it to you, then I am a bastard. All right. No, all our models are not damaged at the point of shipping. And the people in the chat would maybe attest that they would receive their models with the blister all intact. There have been a few cases of the blister being obliterated, and we can only extrapolate why that's the case. Now, the blister is made from PET, not PVC. some blisters are made from PVC, and they will have a bit of a more bluish tint. It's very obvious. PVC cannot achieve total clarity like your drinking plastic bottles, those that contain your mineral water and even maybe your Coca-Cola and other beverages, right? And also because PVC is not food safe, so PVC would never be used to make those bottles I've just mentioned. Those bottles are made with PET. And PET is what companies like Hasbro are doing for their blister, for those carded figures, the blister, as well as Japanese companies like Bandai. If you check the blister of a Bandai product, you'll probably see the tag PET embossed there. For a variety of reasons, safer, more environmentally friendly, and obviously is clear, not having that bluish tint of PVC. Now, having said that, I do know certain die-cast manufacturers who are still using PVC because it is more durable than PET. It can take a hit, a force, and perhaps maintain itself and not crack better than PET. I'm not saying it won't crack. I'm just saying that it will have a better chance of surviving an impact than PET. So I was given this option when we had first experience or gotten feedback that our blisters cracked, and I was asking the factory, why is it cracking? All right. And hold on, is there okay? So yeah, I'm in a live stream. Yeah. So they sort of concluded that the PET, if you experience cold weathers and our products are shipped on the flight, it's cold, in the air, it's cold. Who knows? Sometimes materials react and there could be an impact during the time when it's cold. When it's cold, it's brittle, isn't it? Right? Look at how the Terminator in T2, T2000, he was frozen up and it was hit and he shattered into pieces. And that's just physics, right? So the blister could have experienced a temperature change. At the point of time, it also experienced an impact. And that would have caused the PET blister to crack. And when they told me that, hey, to prevent that, why don't you switch to PVC? And when I looked at the two, the PVC had a clear tint, right? Like as if it's thicker. So it doesn't look as crystal clear as the PET. So I made the executive call to say, let's stick with PET because the reports of damages is not mass. It's pockets here and there. So I took the risk to do it. Now, to address Rochelle's concern, should such a thing happen, and it has happened, all we can do in that particular case is to ask you, because from what I saw of the pictures, I think an antenna on the spine came off. Could you please glue the antenna back? Because the antenna is also glued at the factory, which means that the antenna was not part of the body which broke off. Do you see what I'm saying here? Now, when I ask customers to glue something back, those idiots would say that, no, I'm buying a model, I'm buying it, it's got to come to me exactly as it is. If something is broken like that, you're asking me to fix it back? No, I'm going to ship it back to you, and you're going to glue it for me and ship it back to me. I mean, are these idiots or are these idiots? You ship it back to me, you are going to pay the shipping cost. I'm not going to pay the shipping cost. Why should I pay the shipping cost? Maybe the shippers should pay the shipping cost, because they are the ones who, during transit, damage the model. But we can go on and on with this, but we don't, because no rational person would conduct such an argument. Only an irrational person. And we take it that collectors are all mature adults. Collectors are mature adults. Even myself, when I receive a product, and if something is not perfect to the T, I have to consider, right, whether or not this thing was already a bad quality and I feel that I have to return it, then so be it. If this happens to me as well, I will return it. If the item that I purchased is totally not what I expected, it's far not as advertised. But if the thing that I purchased, especially in our very niche community, our niche products, then I have to be rational. What would it cost for me to ship this back, and then they ship it to me? Again, if I'm a Amazon or a huge company, multi-million-dollar, I would provide the service. We will get it back from you. We'll fix it. We'll send it back. Send you a new one. But we're not, and we will never be. We'll never be. Okay. I buy an iPhone, and if it's not working, I can have it shipped. They will pick it up. Apple will pick it up from me, and they'll send me a new one, right? If I get a camera, I buy a camera and it's not working, I'll send it back. They'll send me a new one. Sony, Olympus, Canon, Nikon. But if we start comparing the customer service of those companies with Calibre Wings and say, oh shit, Calibre Wings has shit customer service, they're asking me to fix it back myself, then we're not rational. Okay. So again, Rochelle, coming back to you, I see that some parts that broke can be glued back. So could you glue it back? If there are some parts that are really damaged beyond repair, then I can only offer you again another model at a reduced price, or we will rebate you back what you have paid for this model. Let's say you paid 150 US. We'll rebate you back something. So Kelly is my assistant that handles all these things. I can't possibly be the one to handle all these things. I hope you guys can understand. As much as I want to be very engaged with the customer, there are some things that I just can't do. I just can't be responding when a customer comes to me and on email and say, hey, I lost the pitot tube. I've lost a pilot, or I want to buy another pilot, or the pylon has broke. I can't be spending my time replying and servicing such an aspect. I have to delegate the job. And I hope you can understand. Or the idiots will have you saying, oh, but this guy, he's not even, look at that, he's not even concerned about your broken pylon. He's not even doing anything about it. He's calling somebody else to do it. Ask Hobby Master, right? Since you guys like to talk about Hobby Master, would William, in fact, I don't know the guy, by the way. So if William, if you're watching this, hello, nice to meet you. I don't know who you are. It would be good to meet your acquaintance one day. We can share notes. But does William do the parts replacement himself, or does he have a team of people to assist him? So it's fine for William, but it's not good. It's when it's Calibre Wings. Oh no, it's her, and that's double standards. That's clear that you guys are biased and have an agenda, and you are irrational, immature, and you are calling me as the immature guy who has problems. So Rochelle, so address it. I hope you get your answers from what I just mentioned. There's definitely ways to solve it. And I think Kelly would get to your email because she just got back from. We just had public holidays in China the past week. So this recent week was just the first working week since the holidays, right? That she not only was it a holiday, she also took some personal time back to visit to her hometown to see her family, her son. So I mean, we got to be humane, right? So they go back and they do their stuff. So they're off work for a week. So we're just getting back. We're getting back, and we're getting some orders from the site uh, on Top Gun models. Maybe it's maybe Fever from the recent movie. We're handling those orders. We're handling the MiG-31 orders. We are also updating the website with the missing shipping rates. Again, I apologize for that because the shipping rates on this particular website system is not able to accept a table where you can just key in all the countries and values and weights and just upload it wholesale into the system, and the computer would just do it. No, we have to actually key in manually one by one. We have to select a country, we have to key in the weight, we have to key in the cost, and to compile that, it doesn't have any sorting order. We can't sort by country, we can't sort by weight. So whenever we key in something and want to double check if we have done it, we can't, because we just have to scroll, and there's only that limited amount of screen space. And when you scroll up, and there's that many countries, there's that many weight classes, and when you have no sorting system and you just look finding, and that compounds the problem. So getting back, your email will be addressed. I will put a reminder to have that email address, and there will be a list of options for you to choose from. And I'm pretty sure there will be a satisfactory outcome to it. Okay. And on the next purchase, hopefully, touch wood, lightning doesn't strike twice, then you get a model and you can see that it's not a cracked blister, right? So let me get back to the chat. All right, I'm not talking about any more plans for anything. I'm really sorry, not to be disrespectful, but this stream is not about that. Josiah, welcome to the stream. Thank you for that comment. Oh, 18-year-old. Wow. Okay, great. That's great. So, Stephen, thanks for this comment. You've always said that I have every right to defend myself against those who only want to destroy and talk smack about, Okay, great. You can read it for yourself, guys. Thanks, Stephen, for the comment. I really appreciate it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just coming out to, put facts. I'm just here to put the facts. I don't name call. I don't consider calling somebody an idiot a name calling. It's just describing the person. I mean, if you're an idiot, you're an idiot, right? So I don't think that's name calling. I don't name calls. I don't smear people. I give it as it is. And sometimes when I give it as it is, people can't take it, and they feel that it's name calling and whatever, right? So, but it's fine for them to do it to me. So, do you see the hypocrisy and the double standards? Okay. Whoa, I think I'm behind on the chats. Sorry, guys. Yes, I don't. I didn't even talk about the C2 at all. I never talk about the Greyhound. So Stephen Charles doesn't understand those that continually complain about the models that the manufacturer produces and they don't like. Just go somewhere else. Is exactly, exactly, exactly. Well said. Well said. Hey, Mario, Mario. He doesn't know. Mario, okay, doesn't know why people complain about a single number. All right, I thought we collect because we like the models. Exactly, exactly, Mario. Exactly, that's what we're trying to say. And I'm glad we have people like you who are rational enough to see it for what it is. You know, the limited edition is always just a little more decoration on the plate, right? It's nothing but the garnish. It's not the main dish, right? For people who wouldn't buy a model because it's not one of 1,000, that's just strange. That's just strange. That's just strange. Yeah, so Mario, I've already explained the MiG 31. If you're in the stream earlier, you will have heard me describing about the MiG 31, right? Yes, take my time, but not take too much time because every minute, hour, day, and month that goes by without the S2 going out means there's no income for the company, and that's not good. And that's what I am. I mean, obviously, I would say that I'm the good guy. Uh, but again, let my actions speak for myself, right? I'm not an angel. When I curse and swear, I shouldn't do that. That's just the emotional part getting the better of me. Again, I liken it to the professional footballers on a pitch where they still punch people and they do a hard tackle and they still swear. It's all in the heat of the moment. All right. I'm sure off the pitch, off the game, these people are better people in real life. And that's what I compare myself with, right? I am, if I'm not passionate about this, I wouldn't be doing all this, right? I would be cash grabbing. I'll be cash grabbing you suckers who are buying my models that has no QC, that is of bad quality, and you still buy it anyway. I'm just cash grabbing, right? No, but because I'm really all my stuff. I'm overly concerned about the quality. All right. And I'm honest in a way that I always give it as it is, right? I always give it as it is. I'm showing you guys the POs. I'm showing you guys uh, as much as I can. Even I was even trying to record, and I did record. I'll probably find if I still had the recording if I didn't delete it. I was actually recording myself QCing TP05 and 06 and complaining all the defectives to the factory. But I had a moment to think about it and I said I shouldn't release this because it's detrimental to the factory. Is to a person that's not knowing the full context, they may think that I'm trying to uh, demeanor the factory. They may think I'm trying to show the bad production quality of a Chinese factory. There's just too much negative possibilities that people might think about when they see the video that I actually decided, let's not post the video because I was trying to be honest. I was trying to be honest to show you guys what I was doing. I was trying to show you guys that the bad QC of the models would not be accepted, that they had to fix it. That was all wanted to show by videotaping that particular process of the TP05 and 06. And that was the honest part of it. But as we all know, life is not all about honesty. And sometimes honesty gets you in more trouble than being dishonest. I have not watched the movie yet because in China, there seems to be some controversy of Tom Cruise's character in the movie donning a Taiwanese logo or flag on the back of his bomber jacket. I'm hopeful that the Chinese authorities would, if it bothers them, would cut that particular part out and just let the movie be shown. If the movie is not shown, then I would not be able to absorb the movie and be able to feel passionately about the model and hence be able to produce it properly. Again, I mentioned I won't do anything that I can't connect with. I don't just do it for the cash grab, right? Doesn't mean that it's Top Gun, cash grab, time to cash grab. Let's do it, man. Calibre Wings, Top Gun, Maverick, F-14. No. The reason why I did the original Top Gun was because I saw it as it was. I saw the attempts by TSM model, one color, not going to cut it because the real jets were never one color. As much as many of my own F-14s of real squadrons are one color, as much as this has been one color for all the lifetime from Dragon to Witty to Hobby Master to JC Wings, because that's the so-called the catalog standard, the clean version. For as much as we can do a clean version, the planes used in the original Top Gun were visually too weathered that if you do it as a clean, it just cannot relate. That's why I did it weathered. Okay. I even contemplated to do it a clean version because some of you cannot accept weathering. Some of you are just attuned that the model must be nice and clean. I was contemplating about it, and I might do it, like I said, because I just mentioned in the earliest part of the stream that I got request to redo the Ghost Rider TP02. I could redo it as a clean version, contrary and contradicting myself, that I just mentioned that because the aircrafts in the movie so weathered that I couldn't do it clean. But again, let me have the full context, because what I'm trying to describe is that when I see the movie and I see the model wrong, the aircraft, I can now make the model. I'm talking about because I've not seen Top Gun Maverick. If I were to make the F-14 in that movie, it would just be for the cash grab. Because I've not seen it, I've not seen how it's shown, I don't know how to express it as a model. Do you see what I'm saying here? So please try to understand my train of thought and not say you are contradicting yourself because you just said that it must be weathered and you're doing a non-weathered. I'm not even saying I'm doing it, I'm just considering doing it, and I may do it just because I feel I want these collectors to own something that they missed. And only if they accept my proposal, right, that you guys got to understand, I'm a man of my word. When I say it's limited edition, it's limited. It's not going to be produced anymore. And that is also another marketing strategy for me to ensure that my models sell out. Because if you don't get it, then you're not going to get it anymore if it sells out. And of course, if it doesn't sell out, then you can buy it. Just like now, the Diamondbacks is still available, but it's not sold out, right? So if you are agreeable, if you want the model, and if you are agreeable, if I put up a maybe a pre-order, and you think that okay, now he's doing it without weathering because he doesn't want to clash with the original release. If I don't want it, then I will probably send me a signal, say, you know, say that you won't want anything other than the original. Then I would know what to do, right? But for the meantime, I mean, I could easily couldn't care less about your requests, right? But because I care, when I see the emails, I care and I want to do something. But also caring about the previous promises of a limited edition that cannot be produced, and I have to see what I can do. Do you see what I'm saying? I hope you do, right? So I hope that explains if there's any plans to do F-14 from Top Gun Maverick. All right, thanks, Josh. Please do a willow grave. Okay. Again, Steven, send me an email. Send me some pictures. I am not. I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about over there. I'm not a worldly wise full encyclopedia of knowledge of aviation, military aircrafts. I do not know. Everything has to be researched, has to be learned. So I don't know about this willow grave, but if you can kindly share with me images or data, information, I'll be glad to look into it. All right. Terms and conditions. I will get to that. All right, Christian. I will look at it and I will put it into the website to refresh the information. All right. Because my train of thought. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I'll put in the terms and conditions, and I'll upload it, and I will refresh it, and put a post on Facebook so that you guys know that it's all in. All right. All right, Stephen. Thanks that you agreed to whatever I said just now. Okay, so you meant 1 to 500. So 500 should be the special color version. Okay, I get it now. So the special color version, like I said again, I was not involved in that because they got the color wrong. Sorry that you have to hear this. Any proper businessman would not tell you such things because it immediately devalues the model. But I have to give it as it is because the color is wrong. But if you think that you like the model for what it is, then more power to you. But the color on the VF84 Joy Rogers GL03 special color, because initially it was supposed to be called weathering version, but I changed it to special color because it's not the weathering version that I had in mind. They used the wrong color to weather it. It's yellowish. It's wrong. So it's just called a special color version. All right. That's a very kind gesture, Stephen. I think at the pre-order price of 150, it wouldn't hurt too much and have something in a collection as I guess the very first Calibre model that starts the new era in magnetic parts. How about that? Yeah, I mean, again, I like to just underline that this is not a Caliber Wings versus Hobby Master war. I'm just doing models that I like, that I see is not available in the market, and that's why I'm doing it. And again, for those who are confused as to why the F-16 has all these radar and engine, is simply because the only way to remove the only way, okay, number one, I have to make the F-16 with the air intake exactly like that. It goes in deep. It doesn't cut off after the front landing gear and have a wall there. That just doesn't do it for me. It has to go all the way through. Now, when it goes all the way through, that means any magnetic changing of the main landing gear cannot happen by its own cartridge because it's physics. There is no space. So the only way to do it is to change the entire belly, right? Now, when you do that, then you can see the model naked. Even worse than naked, is totally exposed. You can see, oh, that's how it's done inside. And when you see that, and when you see that there's no engine, and you just see a fan, the turbine fan piece stuck there at the end of the air intake, then it's just ridiculous, right? So the reason why the F-16 Ultimate Viper has the engine, regardless of what you say, whether it's unnecessary and that people wouldn't display with the engine out, it doesn't matter, because I want you to know that the model has the engine inside. Just like when you buy a 1/18 scale or even a 1/24 scale model of a car that has an open bonnet, you're not going to take out the engine of the car, but at least you know it's there. That at least you know your model is not hollow inside. And that is the crux of the Ultimate Viper that people don't seem to understand. That the F-16, our F-16, when you display the F-16 on your display, you know that it is not hollow inside. There is something inside. And whatever that is inside is as best as we can do to replicate the actual plane in a 72 scale. So I hope that explains it. Tash, Tay, is it T-E? Yeah, T-E. So that's Tay. See, so there you go. So Tay is just asking if there's any more. Will I be getting more Ghost Rider in stock? No, I'm not having any more in stock because it's already sold out. And our models cannot be restocked because it's a one-time limited edition. All right. So sorry to say that. But that's what it is. And the market, blame the market, because when I put out the Ghost Rider for pre-orders to the distributors, I was getting feedback that this is a very unpopular model. So instead of doing maybe 3,000 pieces, I did 1,005 or 2,000, right? My initial idea was to make 3,000 pieces of Maverick and Goose, double what I would normally do as the maximum of 1,005, 2,000 Iceman Slider, and then 1,000 Maverick Merlin. That was my initial idea. If I find my chat somewhere, which is hard to do because this is way back, you can see that this is my initial idea. 3,000 Maverick Goose, right? If I had done that, then there should be enough orders for everybody. But then again, I would have held stock for a year until the movie came out. My plan was to make those models in tune with the release in 2020, but COVID came. The decision by Paramount was to postpone it a year, 2 years, and then now you guys have it. So now you guys see the movie, you guys get inspired, and then you're looking for Ghost Rider, but it's already sold out. And also because the market told me nobody wants the model. I mean, the fact that I didn't sell out on Iceman, Slider, and Maverick and Merlin is testament that the market didn't want these models as much as it wants it now. So, what to do? Understand? See, so you can never win. Tin box is susceptible to dents, so is a cardboard box. My friend, whatever impact that hit the tin box would have also dented the cardboard box. And if the same force that damaged a little bit on the cardboard box would probably not even dent the tin box. So let me counter you with that thought, right? So yes, you give a food for thought, but this food for thought would automatically even tell us that a cardboard box is even worse. Hobby Master has released 90 plus different F-16. Quantity as a quality of its own. Has a quality of its own. Sure. It's the Hobby Master quality. It's the quality of Hobby Master, right? For the people who love Hobby Master quality, please go ahead and continue loving Hobby Master quality. I'm not saying not to love it. If you love, I mean, if your girlfriend is ugly and you love her, what? Go ahead. I'm not saying not to love her, because love is beyond, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going off on a tangent. All right, let me just quickly get through all the Rusty Denim. I think I remember you, Rusty. So you're one of those guys who post on my YouTube and also helping to incite the fire in the model hanger forum, maybe. I don't know. If I'm mistaken, then I apologize. So yeah, Easy Toys and Acres. So that's 3. Okay, cool. Okay. So 3, there's 3 retailers that Robert can email all 3. All 3. Okay, Big Bad Toy Store. Sure, 4. All right, 4. And among several more. So which are the several more? Sure, go ahead. Whatever that helps Robert's cause, all right? Go and email all the retailers, all right? Thank you, Stephen. Again, really appreciate folks like you. Also on my YouTube. I mean, I regard you as a friend, all right? And hopefully one day we have a chance to meet up and get you a beer or a coffee or something. You see, when we do a production run, there is only a limited amount of spare parts that the factory will just allocate to us. And sometimes when the model is so old, we also have to clear our own space. We can't be stocking spare parts from day one till today, right? So if you come to us for a spare part for a model that's 4 years old, please understand if we don't have it. If we have it, good. But please understand if we don't have it. And we can't possibly make a part just for that model 4 years ago. And as we progress, that model becomes 6 years, 7 years. All right. Speaking of years, coming up to 10 years, and hopefully I will plan for something really good for the 10th anniversary of Calibre Wings. Looking forward to that. All right. But yeah, we can't possibly do these kind of stuff. And but yes, we do have replacement parts if we have it. You can always email us, and we'll do our best to replace those parts with shipping. Of obviously, a cost that you have to bear. Okay, great. So now, at least we verify that Rochelle is the person who emailed in, and you know that we saw an email. And I mean, Kelly is not a native English speaker, and again, like I said, she may have already replied your email, but I think she hasn't, because, like I said, I've not seen from your comment, it's obvious that you haven't gotten a reply. And I was also thinking about replying you, but again, I have to word it in such a way, because I don't know what's your response if I ask you to recruit yourself. And it was hard for me to explain why the blister cracked, and in words, it'll be like so long-winded. So hopefully this video gave you the insight as to your condition. Your condition was not the first one, but it is not amongst hundreds. I would say to date, we have maybe 10 or less than 10 feedback after doing so many models that the blister has cracked. All right. Maybe more than 10, maybe 20. Okay. Let's not discount myself too much. Right. Let's just say 20, or even let's just say 50. Right. But compared with the amount of models that we've already made through the years. So yeah, let's sort you out, Rochelle, and we will definitely want to make you satisfied with your purchase, whatever it is. Whether we discount on the current one, we give you a discount on the next one, we'll sort it out. All right. Thank you so much. Right. I mean, that's what I want to do, and I'm not grandstanding. All right, as some might even use the word. Right, coming up on the live stream here and then speaking good about myself. That's not the plan. Yeah, I mean, there is a saying in Chinese, right? Sick for, which means I don't know the product, right? Which means if I were to get, if I am like a, okay, if you give me a let's say I'm a Windows user, right? And you give me the latest MacBook and you say it's really superb, and if I don't know how to use a Mac, I would say it's rubbish, right? Rubbish, because I don't know the product. The fact that you mentioned that it's accurate, that means you understand the details that went, the effort that went into making the details, including the little camera thing that I wanted to put in there, including to make those markings on the helmet that the factory was cursing and swearing, by the way. Who the hell is insane enough to do something like that, right? So like I said, Hobby Master is more than capable of just taking my stuff and copying it and making it better. Again, I'm not saying that they are copying my stuff. No, if they can make it better and give the community a better product, it's good for you guys. Then it makes me have to even better what they just did, right? With the resources of Hobby Master, they can easily do good pilots, but they insist on just the blobs. It's not my decision, right? I don't know. So when collectors rave about, I just got my beautiful hobby master, and then they put the little block pilot in there, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So either you sick for, which means you don't know the product, or you are just satisfied with mediocrity. Takuma-san, nice to see you here. Appreciate it. All right, I will look into it. Sure, like I said, sometimes if it's not done the way I want it to be, but if it still turns out to be acceptable, that's how we the world rolls. Because what is critical for me might not be critical for you. But all I know is that I have to do my part to make sure that my product, when I put it out, I am what's the word I'm looking for? I'm satisfied and I am proud of my product. That's most important. If I'm putting out a product that I'm not even proud of, then there's a problem there. Okay. So as it turns out, the color that is wrong is not so detrimental and severe that it still looks good. Then great. Then we had a win-win. Okay. We had a win-win. But again, I'm not signing off on this model. Spider-Man fan, what's up? What's up? Thank you. I mean, it's good to see this response, and you know that the effort pays off. All right. I mean, the way to do the Top Gun models was spraying. So only the Top Gun models and the Macross Plus F-14 had these experimental production techniques to spray a lighter color on top of the main color, and then in addition putting the lining of the wash. So the Top Gun and Macross models are a combination of a base layer, a highlight layer, and finally a layer of wash. And then you get the final effect, right? So I'm teaching you Hobby Master. If you want to do it, that's the way you do it, right? You can listen and then go and do it. Yes, you didn't find any Ghost Rider because it's sold out. It was sold out in 2020. We did those 3 models in 2020 and it was sold out. Hey, Peter, what made me decide to take on the S2 project? Because as a plastic modeler in my teens, I was very captivated by an illustration on the box art of, I think, the L and J, or there was an obscure manufacturer of plastic models in Japan. I think it's L and J or something. I may have gotten it wrong. So I was no, maybe it's not. Maybe it's no. It's it could be a hobby manufacturer that has a red logo, a red rectangular logo, miniature craft or something. I'm not sure, or hobby craft. I don't know. I got to check it out. But I was captivated by the artwork. It made the tracker look so sexy. I mean, as a young teenager, I was never into like propeller stuff, right? But the tracker was just so sexy the way it was drawn that I bought the tracker. But unfortunately, in my lifetime, I have not had a chance to make many models, and the tracker was one such model that I've never had a chance to make. And yeah, it was like I said, I'm making stuff now that I have a relation with, that I was previously in touch with, and the tracker is something that I saw that is not available in the market. That's why I decided to do it. All right. Likewise, for the SU24, it's not available in the market. That's why I did it. And even the B58. So the B58, if things go well, I will share the 3D model by the end of June. All right. Now, if you want to hear me rant, you can hear me rant about what happened to the original B58. So the original B58 was done supposedly at another idiotic factory that undertook my project. I mean, when you undertake my project, you got to do it, right? I mean, how can you employ someone as your renovator to renovate your home, and then along the way, the guy stops renovating it because he thinks it's too difficult? I mean, what the hell, right? So if you want to take on my project, you should do it all the way, isn't it? But as and when I was there, so okay, now let me admit to lying, all right? But I was lying because I was taught to be professional and business-like, and so I lied about the factory losing the files. It was to make it sound convincing as a PR, right? You guys want to talk to me about PR, right? Hire a PR. That's what the PR guy will tell you do. The PR guy will tell you, just say that the files were corrupted, it was lost. Okay, that's what I said. All right. So for you smart Alex who said that no, don't rent, hire a PR, That's what I did. I lied. And then when I hire a PR, you guys say I lie. I can never win. All right. All right. So the PR would be the one to say that please remove yourself from the social media, resign from Calibre Wings. Just let the models do his talking. That's why I said I resigned. I lied. Right? So I lied about, so go ahead. I can see the next post coming up on the forums. Oh my goodness, he just lied again about the B58. It was to make the factory look good. It was to make Calibre Wings look good. Because they just freaking hell. The truth was they couldn't draw shit. Days went by, weeks went by, months went by. The B58 wasn't drawn. They were always showing me a shell. And that's when I took it to another person. And I explained myself. Okay, first time around, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I didn't give them enough reference. So this time around, okay, I learned. I researched all the reference images. I put it into a PDF, all the parts, how I wanted the cockpit, how I wanted the landing gear, how I wanted the shape, how I wanted the engines. It had to have the intake covers, how the engine had to see through and all these things. Okay, good. I met up with another 3D modeler, sat down. All right, good. He gave me a price. And then days went by, weeks went by, months went by, crickets, silence. And then when I finally demanded an answer, he said, he doesn't want to do it. It's too complex. So now I've engaged the MiG-31 3D modeler to do the B58. All right. So it's back on track again. I don't want to be blowing horns because there's just too much talk about Calibre Wings never delivers. So you should be worried about your MiG-31 because we never deliver. No. Yes, we do. Yes, we do deliver. We got them well deliver. All right, we deliver. So, um, like I mentioned before, when everything was when I'm in the zone, I'm developing. All right. So only when I get hiccups like that, I gotta stop. I gotta hit the brakes because no point for me to say I'm going to do the Bronco, the Mohawk, and all these things when I can't even do the previous ones. And it's not because I can't do it. It's because all right. So appreciate you appreciating the fact that we're doing unique airframes. And like I said, I am very passionate about doing the Bronco more so than the Mohawk. But let me get myself up and running again from a bad second half 2020 and a horrific 2021, not to mention the past years of 2017, 18, 19. Now that I'm settled down here in China, I'm getting my shit done. As you can see, Ramen Toy, the shit is being done. We started with one project last year. This year, we're handling 7 projects and we're delivering. So don't tell me that I can't deliver. All right. Okay. Yes. Takeya, I have a lot of plans, but I'm just one guy. And sometimes when my plan and then I'm busy, that plan gets a little bit in the back burner and then it doesn't get addressed. But there's many plans. You have seen me put up the tractor that pulls the F-16 172 scale. It's already done. The prototype is done. I just need to find a way to do it, whether to just recast it or make a tooling. Because it'll be too expensive now to make more toolings when I can't even get shit out. And I want to make pilots because the initial pilot packs, again, the factory didn't do it the way I wanted it. I had done my paint samples, but the final product differs so much from my paint samples that I was demoralized to do even more. But now that I got another factory to do those seated pilots, from the Top Gun, from the Joy Roger, you saw all the helmets being done, the pilots, everything is all nicely. So now I've got the confidence to do it again. So I will allocate time and resources to do it. But again, all these means just more money out to make those productions. So I got to pace myself. But I'm definitely planning it. If that's your question, will I plan? Yes, I'm planning. All right. But no, I'm not considering that. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. As they say, the devil is in the details. And skill modeling is all about details. Skill models, the very fact that you have the name skill models means you're talking about detail. If you have no details, just call it a model. Don't call it a skill model. All right. So hobby master should be calling their models just models. Maybe they didn't call it skill model, so my bad. Sorry about that. But in my opinion, they're not models. Oh, you guys are friends? Great. Yeah, it's important that we keep the community because again, unlike the MNCs where customers are masses, customers don't matter in terms of the individual communications. Customers only matter because we need their money. In this community, your need to fulfill your hobby is the fuel that funds this whole operation. Because if nobody wants this, there's no point of me doing it. All right. I got better things to do in my life. Because selecting a color, confirming the color, researching the scheme, correcting the graphic artist that puts the 2D of the aircraft onto the 2D is not as easy as anyone thinks, because the people that does all this, they are not the enthusiasts. The AJ on that goes onto the stabilizer, where is position? How thick is it? Where does it turn up? Where is the placement? In a sense, my job is really easy because I'm just copying. And yet it's not easy, because even when you copy, even when you give the person the exact photograph of the aircraft to copy, they don't get it right. It's up to me to go check it and say, this is wrong. The font is wrong. The position is wrong. The thickness is wrong. Change it. So it's not as simple. So I'm not sure what's William's role in Hobby Master. Whether does he partake in doing the models like I do, as hands-on as I do, down to making the packaging. I engage the artists, but I show them the pose that I want from a photograph, and they create the graphic, and then I will tell the design, the draftsman to lay it onto the box the way I want it. Even the collector's card, which insignia or logo to show, right? I got a plan for all this. Even the carton marks. So and the YouTube videos and the Facebook and the pictures that I take my own pictures, right? I just mentioned I was a photographer. I'm doing I do photography, right? As a hobby, I take my own pictures, right? So everything is. So ask William, ask your JC Wings, and ask your William, and ask your Century Wings, and ask your Corgi. And no, I'm not saying that they are anything wrong. I'm just asking a genuine question. I'm asking a genuine question. How hands-on are the bosses of these brands on their products? Or maybe I'm the fool. Maybe I should sit back as a boss. You do this and you do that. I don't give a damn. You do it. I'm the boss. I'm the cash grabber. Maybe I'm the fool. I'm the fool. Yes, I'm always a fan of the Punking Dogs, and again, I'm just disappointed that my F14 tooling has not even reached half its potential. I've designed the D model, but there is an inacceptance of the glove veins, so I stopped producing D models, right? Until I sort it out. But I couldn't sort it out because for the prototype that I've done of the flaps down with the magnets, with the no glove vein new body, it was not fulfilled because the factory was fucking it up. You see? When I can't sell my models, when I can't make my models, where do I get the funds to make new tooling? Right? And of course, you'll have some people on the forum saying that they think that Calibre Wings is in dire financial state. No, we're not in any dire financial state. We're just in not a good financial state because we don't have the funds to make the MiG-31 ourselves with our own money. So if you want us to make the MiG-31 with our own money, then maybe you can wait end of 2023. We'll have a look. We'll have a look at our bank account to see if there's enough money from the rest of this year's sales and next year's sales, if we can make enough money, we will make the tooling ourselves in end of 2023 or maybe 2024. But if you want it now and you support the project now, then we can get it out 12 months after we close the pre-orders, the cutoff. And why is it 12 months? Because it's my buffer. It doesn't take 12 months of competent work to finish the MiG-31, but I'm giving myself buffer for if shit happens. Because the MiG-31 will not be and will be the first model that will deliver on time. Because we're not working with idiots anymore. We're not working with unprofessional people anymore. The people who have delayed my Su-24, the people who have delayed my Su-20, the people who have delayed my S2 tracker, and so on and so forth. And my F-16 was also delayed. It's not my fault. Why is it my fault? Why should it be my fault? So I had so much plans, right? If the VF-143 Punking Docks Desert Storm version, right? With the it's actually the 14B, right? Punking Docks, Iraqi Freedom, I think. So yeah, I'm lots to do, but I got to pick up the pace. All right. Yeah, we will definitely look into unique replacement parts as and when we have it available. Right. Clean and dust your models. Well, first of all, you have to put a little saucer of water in your display cabinet so that the water will sort of attract the dust. That's one thing. But make sure you keep replacing the water, because if you neglect that, when you come back, the water is dried up. You will see the dust in the saucer, and you'll also see dust on your model because you have actually forgotten to keep replacing the model, the water topped up. So that's one way, is to keep a saucer of water. The bigger the saucer, the better, right? You will attract all the particles into the saucer. And if you do have dust on your model, use the brushes that ladies use for makeup, because it's very soft, right? And it's big enough of an area. The blushing brushes, it's big area and soft, so that you can actually dust off on the model. If you use small brushes, even though it's soft, because it's small, as you apply the pressure, you might be causing undesirable motion or friction on your model. But if the brush is big, then with the motion, it's physics. All right. So that's what I would recommend. Hope it helps. Stan, I am definitely wanting to make it, if you guys can accept that the airframe is not totally SUFA, but you can't, because the front is just, I will have to make new parts for it. There could be other F-16s that I might have to close one eye and make it with the airframe slightly different, but not as drastically different as the SUFA. That's what I mean by you guys, if you can accept those imperfections. Like, for example, right now, the Su-24, the glove vein, or rather the glove fences for some of the Su-24 is actually flat and not curved. But I've still done it curved because I just don't have the means to tool a new flat part. But along the way, as and when I get it to do it, I will improve it, and then finally will release a fencer that has the proper stuff, right? I'm always looking into Kaizen, but it takes time, it takes resources. But again, for the Sufa, I will need to tool those unique shapes, and I can only make it once I've done those shapes. All right. Yes, Alex, I am doing it right now with the MiG 31 and the S2 tracker. All right. And for F-16, for example, because the entire belly is removable, and we're already dealing with an amazing amount of space constraint. Look at what space we have or we don't have on the F-16 model. And even if we use small magnets, it doesn't have the strength to support the bottom fuselage. That's why magnets was not a choice of an option when designing the Ultimate Viper. It has to be a friction attachment. I hope that clarifies. So as far as possible, I mean, you got to forgive us, right? We started with the F-14, we move on to the Su-24 with the magnet, the F-16 that we couldn't incorporate magnets, or rather, again, even if I tried to do it, there was just an overwhelming amount of information and planning that I couldn't undertake myself at a point of time. So I just said, do the friction joints. Because when you do a magnetic attachment on the pylon, you have to make sure that the next ordnance that share the same pylon, if applicable, the magnet positions must match. And that requires people who are dedicated to help you to think and plan. Otherwise, you're going to be like, oops, oh, damn, this one doesn't fit that one. What, retool again? So there are reasons why certain things are not done. Even the very fragile attachment of the Su-24, easy to break tabs, it requires retooling if it's going to be more sturdy, and I just don't have the resources now to retool. And I've said it many times. So we just have to make do with the Su-24 as a semi die-cast, meaning that for the parts that will break, you have to apply your plastic modeling skills to glue it together, put it there, and display it as a nice display. That's the only way now, right? I can't, imagine those little bombs on the rack of the Su-24, the weapons pack. If everyone is a magnet, count how many magnets they're going to be. How many points to retool? Not that it's impossible, it's just that it would have been easier if it was thought out from the beginning. So that is enough of the rant on those magnets. But like I was saying, as we progress onto our development, onto our timeline, it will just get better. All right. As you can see, the MiG-31 now, not only is the landing gear magnetic, the pylon and hard points are also magnetic. All right. Spider-Man fan, I've already explained this earlier in the stream. If you came in late, which I guess you did, so I did explain it. So if you can scroll into, well, are we like 2 hours already? My goodness. Oh my goodness. I think maybe you have to scroll up maybe an hour in. No, an hour and a half maybe. You will see me explain about Top Gun Maverick. All right. Thank you very much. So yeah, I think we have reached 2 hours and 30 minutes. So that's the end of the comments. Appreciate you guys listening in. It was an impromptu stream because I had to address something. I hope that you guys can share this video, like, share, subscribe, share the MiG 31. I will give some updates and then I'll talk to you guys really soon. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Have a great week ahead. And this is me, Noel, signing out. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next stream.